In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you the second part of how to design your radial gears for our kinetic sculpture project. Now, in the first part of the first video, I showed you how to divide your circles up into 5 sections, 4 sections, and 8 sections. And you should have a 7-inch circle, a 7-inch circle, and an 8-inch circle. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to add your radial design. So if you remember from our conversation, I had said that a radial balance or radial design is one that has a central point and that there is a motif or an image repeated all the way around the central point. So it has, radial balance. So these are a couple examples. So this is going to be kind of our goal for the end of this part of the project. So I'm going to start by kind of just showing you what we will do for our one that we're dividing into 5 sections. Now, there's a couple tools that you can use here that will really help you with this project. If you would like to make one that's a little more flowy and organic, you probably won't be using these as much, but if you're making a design that is a little more geometric, meaning more straight edges and more kind of mathematical looking, these two objects, your needleless compass and your ruler, are going to be really helpful. So there's a couple ways you can go about doing this. If you would like to go straight to designing on here, if that's how you work, I'm fine with that. But if you'd like to spend time planning out each section, I've left a section open in each template for you to do a section of your design. So you could see that I did it here, and I did it in Sharpie so you could see on the video. But then what I would do is on my final, I would repeat the same design again and again and again and again, so 5 times. If you would like to do a little planning on here, you can. So let's say, for example, I'm doing my 5th, I would draw my design in here, and then I would wind up looking at it and repeating the design again and again. Now, I don't recommend that you draw this entire thing in this section and then the entire thing in this section. I recommend that you break it down into parts. So let's start with this big kind of organic leaf shape. So I'm going to do that here, here, and in the other 2 sections as well. And make sure that your edges are, a lot of your shapes are touching the edges so that they're kind of an accurate size. Then from there, I can look at my design and say, okay, now I have to add these 2 lines here. So I do that here and here. I'm going to do it here and here. So you can see how I'm taking each part of my design and I'm just repeating it. The next thing I'm going to do is say, okay, now I have to add this line and this line. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I can continue to just add on to my design. So this is how you'll do it if you are someone who wants to work off of, something that's really carefully planned out. If you would like to go straight to designing, what you can do is you can have your template all kind of drawn out, and you can just start out by thinking about some shapes that you might want to have. So let's say in each section you wanted to have a diamond shape. You could either choose to completely freehand draw that all the way around, but if you're someone who really wants this to be very mathematically sound, one of the things that you can do is you can get a needleless protractor, and this is really helpful. So there's a little eye here with a little dot. You line that up, and it's clear, so you can say you line that little dot up right over your center point. And then you decide, if you're doing the diamond, maybe you draw 1 diamond, or any little object that you'd like to do. And you decide how long it is. So you loosen the little gear, this little red part, line it up on here, and then you find the edge of the diamond there. Then tighten this so it stays in place. And then very, very lightly with your pencil, you go around and you will make a perfect circle that is just under 4 inches in diameter because it has a 2-inch radius. So now I have a boundary for how long my diamond is supposed to be. So now I know, okay, my diamond touched the edge here. So since it's a perfect circle, because I use my compass, can go around like this. Now I can choose to keep the circle as part of my design, or I can choose to, when I'm done, erase my circle. And that's why I recommended to you that you draw it very lightly. Okay, so you would just erase from here. Now, you can choose to have some of your designs have a circular edge. However, I do recommend that some of your designs, as you kind of come out, that you give them an edge that is not just a circular edge. So maybe there's some kind of a, zigzag motif, or like in some of these where there's points coming out, even if they're more organic or flowy, because it's just going to make your sculpture that much more interesting. When you are done drawing out your entire design with pencil, regardless of what media you're going to be coloring it in, I'd like you to grab a Sharpie and retrace all of your lines so that all of those beautiful designs really pop to the viewer.